Hey, Assalamu alaikum. Let's understand about the brain inflammation. So, number one thing is that we will understand about the brain inflammation due to the stress, anxiety, depression, which that will lead to cause memory loss, Alzheimer disease, Huntington disease, and bipolar disorder, psychosis, and the psychotic symptoms, and the overthinking, which that will lead to cause basically is the anxiety, depression, and OCD. So the basically in this way your brain will be dysfunction, and in this way your brain will inflammation increase. Why increase? Let's understand about that. Your brain contain mitochondria, and mitochondria contain ATP, and the ATP is the energy source for the mitochondria, for the brain cell. But the ATP also work as a coenzyme for the activation of certain type of enzyme, for the synthesis of protein of your brain, for function well of the neuron, like the myelination of the neuron, and in this the synaptogenesis, the neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, and the, on the other hand, the biogenesis of your brain cell, like the myelinated Schwann cell formation. And in this way the multiple sclerosis will be prevent. That multiple sclerosis is also the type of the depression disorder, and that all thing is due to the while on the other hand the fatigue, and you will feel the energy less and tiredness. That is, all these things is due to the inflammation of your brain, and that inflammation of your brain will trigger due to the high level of the insulin, due to the overconsumption of the carbohydrate. So sugar intake too much will lead to cause basically is the inflammation in your brain, even whole body. Why? Because it will inhibit the growth hormone, remember. So the growth hormone released from the pituitary gland whenever the insulin will drop, whenever you will not intake the sugar, whenever you will stop the sugar and eat the healthy food. And in this way that basically electrolyte is too much important, because the dehydration of your brain will lead to affect the memory loss and the inflammation of your brain, because brain contain 85% water as compared to the other body part. So more water are present in the brain. So in this way you should consume the healthy diet, which that will lead to give the more energy, more repair, and you should spike the growth hormone and buffer the insulin for the normal function of the growth hormone. Is that growth hormone will grow your brain cell and prepare your brain cell and recover your brain cell. So in this way the fourth thing is important for the decline of the inflammation of the brain. You can stop the inflammation of the brain, like, and also supplementation we will discuss also. But first of all we will understand about the brain, basically the brain health due to the diet, due to the exercise. So let's understand about that. Basically the number one thing is that high protein diet, but I am not recommending the high protein diet, but I am recommending the fat containing diet, is known as ketogenic diet. Why? Because the high fat, low carb, and low protein diet contain omega-3 fatty acid and omega-6 fatty acid. On the other hand, important thing you should need to understand, the vitamin K, vitamin D, vitamin E, all, and vitamin A, all fat soluble vitamin will be absorbed from your digestive system, because it is fat soluble, so it requires the fat, and in this way the fat soluble vitamin will absorb into the blood, and in this way it is known as the absorption of the food and the vitamin. So the vitamin K also absorbed for the normal function of the brain. So in this way, this all vitamin required for the brain required it, and in this the brain will function properly. But anyhow, you should also consume the vitamin B complex. The vitamin B complex, especially the vitamin B12, which that increase the neurogenesis, the neuroplasticity, and the synthesis of the protein in your neuron, which that basically improve the memory and improve the cognitive function and decrease the inflammation. Because the vitamin is also antioxidant, so vitamin B12 also produce more energy due to the function, and in this way the vitamin B12 trigger the biogenesis of the mitochondria. while this basically is the ketogenic diet you can consume, and the green salad. Why green salad? Because green salad contain electrolytes like potassium, magnesium, sodium, chloride. And on the other hand, important thing is that magnesium and copper, zinc, which that all these things is important for the brain health. So in this way, whenever you will consume the green salad, the green vegetable, which that contain rich amount of the magnesium, so you require too much magnesium, potassium in the daily basis. So in this way, you can improve the function of the brain, because the potassium and sodium, the potassium is the intracellular cation which that lost whenever it will exchange. So in this is the nerve impulse, so potassium will basically move out. When potassium will move out, in this way it will be excrete easily as compared to the sodium. So you should require potassium daily basis. So in this way you can consume the green vegetable to consume that potassium. So anyhow, this is the important thing you should need to understand. In this way, the ketogenic diet with the green vegetable is very important, while the number 2 thing is the good sleep. When you will good sleep, spike the growth hormone while buffer the insulin, and in this way the diabetic property, that anti-diabetic sleep. So sleep is the anti-diabetic, and in this the insulin buffering will lead to clear the insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes mellitus, because type 2 diabetes mellitus and the pre-diabetic person lead to cause brain problem and the inflammation. Remember, because the glucose will not enter into the brain, and in this way you will feel fatigue, nausea and tiredness, as well as energy less function. So anyhow, this is the important thing is that basically the sleep and the ketogenic diet with the healthy green vegetable for replenish the electrolytes, because the electrolyte is too much important. Electrolyte is too much important for the prevention of the dehydration of your brain, because the dehydration is very bad for the brain, even minor level. So also the fasting. So with the ketogenic diet, the fasting will increase the biogenesis of the mitochondria. In this way, increase the ATP production, and that ATP is used for the function of the vitamin. And in this, the antioxidant which that contain the green vegetable, and in this the antioxidant will work for the repair of the inflammation of your brain, because the antioxidant is too much important. So you can also add the supplementation like resveratrol, curcumin. On the other hand, the coenzyme Q10 and mammalian target of rapamycin also used for the mimicry of the fasting. So in this basically important thing you should need to understand, the sleep and the exercise. Exercise also boosts the energy, repair the brain, and in this way the cognitive power will increase. In this way your exercise will spike the growth hormone for the biogenesis of the neurons. In this way your brain will function properly. On the other hand, the sleep, the exercise and the ketogenic diet, low caloric diet, the caloric restriction diet also buffer the insulin. In this way it will spike the growth hormone for growth of your brain. So on the other hand, the important thing is that the sleep also increase the growth hormone, and the exercise also increase the growth hormone. Caloric restriction also increase the growth hormone, and the ketogenic diet contain a lot of the short chain and long chain fatty acid, as well as another. So as well as basically is the vitamin, fat soluble vitamin will be absorbed. So you should keep healthy ketogenic diet, like the you can say that is basically omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acid, which that is the unsaturated fatty acid. But the saturated fatty acid should be a natural, not like trans saturated fats, but the cis saturated fat, which that is healthy, like desi ghee, butter, cheese, which that is contain a fat. So anyhow, this is the mechanism, and in this way you can decrease the inflammation of your brain and the energy decline and crash of the energy to repair. I hope you make sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video. For this, bye. Allah Hafiz.